Nancy Pelosi refuses to learn any lessons or go away after the Democrats got steamrolled in the election. The LA Times says, with no challenger in sight, Speaker Nancy Pelosi should breeze through her re-election bid in today's House leadership vote and move closer to what is expected to be her final 2-year term in the high-profile post. Update on this. She just breezed through. I saw the news like 5 minutes ago. Nancy Pelosi is the Speaker of the House after the Democrats performed significantly worse than they should have in an election against Donald Trump and his Republican Party. By the way, Chuck Schumer, exact same thing. He was picked to continue leading the Democrats in the Senate, even though there was a 75% chance that the Democrats were supposed to win the Senate, and they still might not win the Senate. We have 2 runoff elections in Georgia, and we're going to have to see what happens in those 2 races. But if the Democrats do win the Senate, it'll be barely, by the slimmest of margins. It's very possible they don't, if not likely that they don't, in which case they didn't even win the Senate, even though there was a 75% chance that they were supposed to win the Senate. This leadership is abysmal. This leadership is to blame for the losses. It's not Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. It's not Ilhan Omar. It's not Rashida Tlaib. It's not Bernie Sanders. When you go and look at who was used in the attack ads, it's almost always Nancy Pelosi. And by the way, people who've canvassed can tell you this. I saw a great tweet about this earlier. Yeah, go knock on some doors and see who's hated in swing districts among swing voters. It's Nancy Pelosi. It's the leadership of the Democratic Party, the current leadership of the Democratic Party. They're in this position because they're like the Washington Generals. So they're corporatists. They represent those special interests, and oftentimes they get steamrolled by the Republicans. And really their job is to keep the left in line. Their job is to make sure that we don't have social democracy. Their job is to make sure the Democratic Party continues with its new Democrat triangulation losing ways. We had Bill Clinton, then we had Barack Obama, now we have Joe Biden, all neoliberal corporatists, and it's constant underperforming and underdelivering. You know, they view their job as to make sure we don't have Medicare for all. We don't have free college. We don't end the wars. And they represent that donor class well, which is why they keep leading the Democratic Party. Now, I will say, if you're not frustrated with the left, you're not paying attention. Because it is so easy to placate the left, man. It's pathetic. All you have to do is say to them, because this happened last time too, and even I fell for it. Like, oh, the only option of the people running, like Nancy Pelosi is the furthest of all the left of all the options running, which was true. But okay, have somebody else run. Why is the left not organized? Why is the left not strategizing? Why is the left not building bridges behind the scenes, not just with their fellow lefties, but also with Democrats who don't agree with them? Become friends with Democrats who don't even necessarily agree with you, and then you'll have the ability to use that friendship, leverage that friendship in the future. Listen, Nancy Pelosi is despised throughout the country. Her approval rating is abysmally low. You're telling me you couldn't organize and strategize behind the scenes to make sure that this 80-year-old who's failed at her job, that she couldn't be ousted? It's because they're all, when it comes down to it, they're all like authoritarians to some degree. They think, oh, we're the new kids on the block. There are rules here that are already established. There's a hierarchy. I'll know my place in the hierarchy, and it's her turn, and it's not over till she says it's over. Wrong. Your job is to represent the people of your district. Your job is to represent the American people. You know Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer are not doing that effectively. So why would you not organize and strategize behind the scenes and mount a challenge to Nancy Pelosi? At least try, for Christ's sake. They didn't. The left all fell in line behind Pelosi. Now, what does Pelosi do? Pelosi made sure that she's the one who throws some crumbs at the left and gives them pats on the back behind the scenes and tells them they're doing a good job. She also does the same with the right-wing Democrats. And so she's the one who's built those relationships where she ends up breezing through all the time. I don't get why the left isn't intelligent about how to play politics and how to win and how to get our policies implemented. It's like there's no strategy. They have no idea what they're doing. They're just like sitting back and watching everything unfold and acting like they're not active participants in it. You're definitely active participants, and you've been played for a fool. You've been played for a fool. Nancy Pelosi is still the Speaker of the House after taking gigantic losses, and nobody even likes her, and she's still the Speaker of the House. And then the Democrats wonder why they don't do well. Because this is the face of the Democratic Party. This is the face of the Democratic Party. Somebody with an approval rating, I don't even remember what it was, 20%, 30%, something along those lines. She's more unpopular than Donald Trump. And you wonder why the Democrats aren't doing well. It's pathetic, man. The left needs to get its act together and mount a challenge and take over this party hostilely if need be. Because this is unacceptable. And it's nonstop, status quo, business as usual nonsense, and it's going to get us absolutely nowhere because it's gotten us nowhere in the past. If anything, it's gotten us more down the wrong path.